everyone. I'm Abby.
And I'm Tom.
And today we are covering John chapter 8. John chapter 8 is actually pretty long, so we are just covering from verse 1 through 11. This is about the story about the adulterous woman. The story opens up with Jesus teaching in the temple court and the Pharisees bringing out a woman caught in the act of adultery to see how Jesus would uphold the law. But we know it was a trick.
Absolutely. I mean, to start, doesn't adultery in this context require two people? Where's the man? If the motivation was truly about upholding the law, then Leviticus 20:10 clearly states that both parties engaged in adultery were to be put to death. But let's face it, the real motivation here wasn't about condemning the woman. The Pharisees were looking for a way to condemn Jesus. They think Jesus has two options. One, if he doesn't approve of the stoning of the woman, he breaks Jewish law and the people turn on him. If he approves of the stoning, then he breaks Roman law that prohibits Jews from carrying out capital punishment, and they'll execute him. But Jesus did neither. We know from the story that he bent down and he wrote something on the ground. Then he stood up and he said, "He who is without sin among you, let him be the first to throw a stone at her." He then bent down and he wrote something else on the ground. Now, we don't know exactly what he wrote, but it was so profound that all of the accusers left the area, leaving Jesus alone with the woman.
You know, I often wonder why the woman stayed there instead of leaving when there was no one left to accuse her. Moments before, she was in fear of her life, at the lowest point and humiliated. I like to think that she felt the healing power of the presence of Jesus. We see it in verse 11 when Jesus says, "I do not condemn you either. Go from now on and sin no more." These statements reveal Jesus' character, giving this woman compassion, grace, mercy, forgiveness, hope, and love.
It also reminds us that God's love isn't conditional. Jesus did not tell the woman that if she stopped sinning, he wouldn't condemn her. He told her that he would not condemn her so that she could stop sinning. He was restoring her dignity and sense of self-worth so that she was now free to live a better life.
You know, I love the approach that Jesus took. The woman probably went on to share with others what Jesus did for her. So this merciful ending was much more impactful and powerful than a lawful ending. As Christians, sometimes we act self-righteous like the Pharisees. I hope we can reflect on all of Jesus' virtues and characteristics and be more like him.
You know, very true. For me, the lesson here is that when we come into contact with people of differing opinions, different values, or even different doctrines, we can either choose to align ourselves with those who think like us and present a united front of condemnation, or we can align ourselves to Jesus, reflect his character of hope by being people who choose empathy over judgment, mercy over cruelty, and give grace generously.
Amen. God bless you all.